Yeah.
Live streaming is on.
Dexter doesn't do too much talking these days.
All right, we should be good. Welcome to the, what is it now, June meeting of the Western North Carolina Linux Asheville Users Group. We will have a short presentation, perhaps a bit of a sequel, perhaps a little bit of additional stuff from Dan. But yeah, welcome everyone. And Dan, if you're ready to go, take it away.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. And let's see here. Entire screen. Allow. Should be seeing it now. Okay. And what else we got here? I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. Okay. So I don't want to start there though. All right. So I'm going to pull this down here. Okay, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit about Linkwarden. And if you're not familiar with Linkwarden, Linkwarden is a bookmark manager of sorts for the web, for web links, but it can do documents as well, which is what I use it for as well. It's great. I was running it on a Raspberry Pi 4 on a 256 gig rather micro SD card, and the micro SD card fell over and corrupted, and I lost it. I was running in Casa OS. If you recall, I did a video presentation on Casa OS about 7-8 months ago maybe, and anyway it fell over. So rather than rebuild it in a Raspberry Pi, I decided to go a different route. Now you can, let me see if this is the link to, no, that's not the link to the, let me get back here. Let me find the link to the website. Yeah, here it is. Can everybody see the website for Linkwarden? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is the website for Linkwarden. Now you can run Linkwarden on the web. You don't have to run it. You don't have to self-host it, in other words. But I choose to do it for a couple of reasons. One being I want control over it. Secondly, I don't want people seeing my stuff necessarily. And this is being hosted out on cloud.com, I think it is. And but it costs you money. So here we go. If we're looking at prices, if you do a month by month for Linkwarden, it's going to cost you $4 a month. And this is what it gives you. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. But if you let them bill you yearly instead of monthly, then it's going to be $3 a month. So it's $3 a month for the same thing I'm going to show you that I'm doing self-hosted. All right, so let's go back here. Let me log out. I'll show what it looks like when you log out. What I did was I set up, I have Proxmox, as you know, Proxmox VE9. So what I did was I downloaded the ISO image for Ubuntu 2604 LTS, and then I made a template out of it. And then I spun up a clone of the Ubuntu 2604 LTS and set it up with Ubuntu Pro, so I get updates for 10 years. And it automatically updates. I don't have to update the operating system at all. It does it for me. And that's free. And so once I spun that up, then I did a couple of things. So let me log back in. Okay, and all right, so if I go down to Linkwarden, these are the preliminary steps I used to set this up. What I did was in step one, I'm going to go through this rather quickly, and you'll be able to see this again in the video. I'll also put this in the show notes so you don't have to type in the commands necessarily. Well, the first thing I did is, like I said, I created that Ubuntu 2604 LTS from a template. And then after I did that, I ran a sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade command, made sure everything was updated. And then I installed OpenSSH server. And the rest of this I did after I SSH'd into the VM. So step 2 is I installed Docker. And I did that by running this command, sudo apt install docker.io. And then I also installed util Linux extra. Okay. And then I ran the command here, which is the usermod command, to add my user to the Docker group, so I don't have to put Docker in front of everything. And then I started start Docker and enabled it by running sudo systemctl start Docker. You got some noise in the background. There we go. And then I've enabled it, and then I ran the third command to test it, and it tested fine. Then I installed Docker Compose. You have to have both of these. Sudo apt install Docker Compose v2. And then the step 3 of the process was I installed Portainer using Docker. And this was the command I used to do that. And then this is the all-important command, the big long one here, to get Docker up and running. Now, why did I install Portainer? I installed Portainer because Portainer is a Docker manager. And rather than run everything using Docker commands, I can go in and I can use a Docker Compose image, and I can spin up a container in Portainer, and stack rather, spin up a stack in Portainer using an image that I get from either Linux .io or from could be that I get this from some other location. All right, so this is the one you need to use here. And so when I get that up and running, I'll show you what it looks like. Then I installed Linkwarden using Portainer. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here. I don't need that anymore. Go back here. I'm going to go to the home lab, and I'm going to go over to Portainer. And this is what Portainer looks like once installed. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and log into that. All right, and so this is Portainer, the Docker manager. Got 4 stacks spun up already, and I'll go to click on that. This is Linkwarden right here. I'm going to click on it, go to the editor, and this is the image that I used to spin up Linkwarden. All right, this image was obtained from Linux.io, I believe it was. Linux.io. I'll put all this information in the show notes. You don't have to guess where I got it from. And it runs on a Postgres database in 16 Alpine. And the Postgres database is what controls all of the functionality of Portainer that you've seen, and I'll show you a little more. It also runs on port 3000. So that's its internal, external ports here. And I've got it to always restart. And then here's the volume database data. Okay. Once you deploy the stack, then you get a container out of it if it's successful. And so here Linkwarden is healthy. And it's running on port 3000 here. Okay. All right, so let me go out of this. Oh, the other thing I did, I haven't shown you yet, let me do that, is I also used my Nginx proxy manager. Let me go ahead and get into that. And I used a proxy host, spun that up, and I created this from a subdomain of my domain called dancalloway.com that is being hosted by WordPress registrar. And so its fully qualified domain name is link.dancalloway.com. So if I go to link.dancalloway.com, it will, and it's less encrypt, SSL encrypted as well. I can go out on the web. Let me go ahead and do that. And I can spin up a SSL protected version of Linkwarden rather than relying on the internal IP address. This is the internal IP address. It's at 192.168.1.245. Port number is again 3000. All right, so that's what that one is. This one instead is a subdomain, and it's running out on the web. All right, so now I've got all of the preliminaries behind me. I'm running this on a VM because for a couple of reasons. One, as I can do a snapshot of the VM, so I can roll back if I run into a problem. And I also have backups in Proxmox VE9. You've seen that before if you watched my last video. And so if this thing were to completely fall over, I can go back and I can easily restore from a backup in Proxmox VE9 within a matter of a couple of minutes, and I'm back in business again. So this thing will no longer be dependent upon a micro SD card that might fall over for no apparent reason. All right, so all the preliminaries out of the way, let me show you what I can do with this. I don't know if you guys, how you store your bookmarks on the web, but I use Linkwarden, and I use it because it's very good. Let's say that you were, if you're out on the web, let me go ahead and go out on the web here to the website. And let me just say you're doing some research in cancer. All right. So I used a bang command there to get out here. So it only shows me stuff cancer related. All right. So here's one of them. Let me bring it up. And I say I'm doing research. I can go ahead and do share, and I can do copy. Come over here to Linkwarden, and let me get rid of that. Okay, this is the web-based. All right. So I don't have a collection here. Linkwarden uses collections, tags, links, and then you can pin links, and it has a dashboard. Okay, I'm on the dashboard right now. But I don't have anything that says cancer. So I'm doing cancer research. So I'm going to go ahead and add a collection, new collection. I'm going to call it cancer research. And I'm going to create the collection. All right, it usually puts it at the top, but I usually drag it down where it belongs right away. All right, then I'm going to get into here, and I can add links to this. So these are going to be my web links for cancer research. All right, so I'll click on that. I've already put one to the clipboard. I'm going to right click and paste it. And I'm going to add more options here. I'm going to tell it what it is. So let's go back to that website where I was. And so this, what is cancer? Okay. So this is what is cancer. I'm going to call it, give it a tag. I'm going to call it cancer. I already have that in there for some odd reason. Okay. And so I'm going to create the link. It takes a few seconds for it to actually create, and it takes a few minutes for it to complete its entire process. And what I mean by that is this thing will create a PDF for you, a image of the web page, and a couple of other things, an image itself and some other things. And I'll show you that with another one here in a second. So that if this website goes away, you have an archival copy of it. All right, so you don't lose it. All right, so if I click on this, that takes me back to where I was, the anatomy of cancer. Okay. All right, and so let's go back. Here I am. So let me go down to up to here, the three dots, and I can edit the link if I want to change it. And I do want to change it. So it's the anatomy of cancer. All right. And I don't want to add anything. I could add a description here if I wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and save it. Go up to the 3 dots now, and I'm going to refresh preserve formats. And this will delete the current preserved formats. No, let me do that. I'm not going to do that. So let's come up here to the 3 dots, come down to show link results. And so what it's done here, in addition to preserving the bookmark so that I can easily get to it, it's created a web page, a screenshot, a PDF, and a readable format of the website. All right, so if I go here to and this is the download. So if I go here to the web page, it takes me out to the web page for the site itself. Now it should be fully created. It doesn't look like it's fully created yet, so I'm going to go back and get out of it. It takes a while for it to fully create it. So, that wasn't what you get in the end result. All right, so you can edit it here or you can view it here. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. And now let's say I'm in the dashboard and recent links are here. And since I just created it, it's going to show up here. But let's say it's months later and I want to get into my cancer research. Let's say I forgot where I put it. I didn't realize I put it under cancer research. I can come up here to search for links. Just type in cancer and let's say research. Well, I think cancer should do it. And it takes me right to the anatomy of cancer, and then I can open it right up. All right. So this is a bookmark manager. I really like it. I've got some of my links out on my storage at Proton because I've got a Proton business account. And I can pull in images. I can pull in PDFs as well and bookmark those. So this isn't just for web links on the web. It's also for PDF documents. All right. So let me go to my Proton account and I'll show you. It's under email here. And let me go to Proton Mail. And let me go to, I think I can get to it from here. This is the mail. This is personal. This is business. I don't see it. I know I can get to it. So hold on just a minute. Oh, I know where it is. I know where I kept it. It's under cloud storage. That's where it is. Cloud storage. And this is Proton Drive. All right. So I've got a 1 terabyte Proton Drive with my business account. And so I've got some documents here under cancer files. All right. So if I double click that folder, here are some videos. Now it's got MP4, but they'll run. All right. So let's say that I wanted to grab this particular file right here, module 8, which is how exercise and rest activate healing. I can come over here and I can share it. Let me see here. There it is. Share. Sorry, I've got running a problem with my eyes because just came out of surgery about 2 weeks ago with the left eye, pretty major surgery, so I'm having problems seeing. All right, so here's the public link. I'm going to make it active. All right, and then I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to come back into Linkwarden, and I want to go back up to cancer research. I want to add another link. So come over here, add new link. And right click and paste. All right, so module 8, exercise, and tag here, call it cancer and exercise. Hit enter, create the link. The links are really important because you can find it by a tag very easily. Okay, so now I've got under this cancer research that I'm doing, collection, a module that should take me out to my Proton account. to the actual module 8 video, which is right here. All right, if I start it, it's actually started already, and it's running, but it takes a while to go past this opening screen. But anyway, so I've got the ability to actually capture videos if I place them on my Proton account where my storage is in the cloud. All right, so trying to think if there's anything else that I need to really show you. Basically, like I said, this is a bookmark manager for web links. It's also, you can grab PDFs. You can't grab videos natively. In other words, I can't go up to YouTube and I can grab the link, but I can't download the video and then grab the downloaded video unless I put them up on a cloud storage, which is my Proton account. And then I can grab them and go that route, which I have tons of aviation videos that I plan to do this with. But here are all of the collections that I've done so far. And this is the Proxmox server. And let me get into it real quick and show you here that this is the running Ubuntu server. This is the console. And let me log in. What I did was I took this Ubuntu server 2604 LTS and I installed an LXDE desktop environment over on top of it so that I have this nice GUI here instead of a terminal window all the time. All right. And then I've got a terminal there, of course. And then if I go out on my desktop computer to the terminal, I can SSH into it. And there you go. All right. So in a nutshell, that is Linkwarden, what you can do with it, how you can add links to collections and create different collections, and how you can utilize it. Anybody have any questions about it?
I have a question.
Okay.
Have you? So the thing that's interesting to me, I use the kind of built-in bookmark managers, which you can organize and folder out and categorize pretty well on a lot of browsers these days. What's really interesting to me is the preservation function here.
Exactly.
So have you had to use that in like a real world scenario? Like, have you found a website that was changed and
no, and the reason
okay.
And the reason I say that, Ryan, is because I've only been using Linkwarden for maybe 6 months.
Sure, totally. I was just curious if you how does the preservation stuff work? So like in the case of the video, is it just creating your own local version of that website with the video intact? So even if the video's pulled, you'll have access to it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's especially in the world of like media, that can be very cool.
And the web page will be a snapshot basically of the page that existed at the moment that you created this link. And you'll be able to go back. It's kind of like an archival of the web.
And how efficient is it? Like, how much space are you having to manage that yet? I know you've only been using it for 6 months.
I thought ahead, and when I created my Ubuntu 2604 LTS, I gave it 60 gigs.
Oh, sure.
Okay, now I can go ahead. This is the beauty of this now, and this is a good thing that you just brought up. If I go back into Proxmox, okay, I've got 60 gigs here, I told you. But if I go to hardware and look at the, well, I've got 12 gigs of memory too, by the way. The hard disk has got 64 gigs. You see it there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I click it and edit it, I can add to this right here. I can add to the disk space. All right. So I can give it additional space, but it has to be offline to do it. But I can advance the amount of space that I'm giving it. I can change this to 128 gigs.
Sure.
using Proxmox. So if I ran into an issue with space, that would take care of it.
Oh, sure. But at a base level, is it pretty efficient in how it backs that stuff up? You're not. Oh, okay. Cool.
Very efficient.
Great.
Okay. All right. So anybody else have any questions? And Linkwarden? No. All right. Well, if not, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the screen sharing. I can actually stop it. I think it's stopped already, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Clicked on it and that stopped it. Anyway, so that's Linkwarden. I've been using it, like I said, for about 6 months. I love the hell out of it because I used to use grouping tabs and stuff like that over here. And I found that, Ryan, occasionally the tab groups would disappear and you'd have to reconstruct it. In Firefox anyway, I don't know what browser you use. But I was noticing in Firefox they would go away and I'd have to reconstruct them. Not sure why.
I also use Firefox. I haven't noticed that, but that would drive me crazy. Absolutely.
It did drive me nuts. So,
that and several other reasons are why I quit using Firefox.
what's that?
What's what?
You said you had other reasons why you quit using Firefox.
Well, the snap thing. I don't like the snap thing.
No.
But I think that some of the loss you get is somehow related to the snap stuff.
It's possible.
I suspect that. I couldn't prove it or anything.
I can't stand Snap.
I've run into issues too, just by Firefox being the odd man out. It struggles with any of the if Google updates something that affects YouTube or any of the big media sites, especially when it comes to ad blocking on Firefox, you have to wait a beat to get that stuff updated on your browser sometimes. That can be frustrating for sure.
Well, and I'm running MX Linux too, and MX Linux is based on Debian, and you know what? With Debian, you've got old stuff, and so I have to wait for things to come up, maybe months before I've got the better stuff, the updates.
Gene, what browser are you using now?
I flip-flop between Opera, Brave, and Vivaldi.
Yep, they're all good browsers.
And I try to, segregate, do the financial stuff on one browser, and everything else just kind of split up randomly between the other two.
Yeah.
My goats are escaping, so I'm going to have to run outside real quick.
Is that a euphemism, Brent, or?
Yeah, I mean, you can interpret that however you like. But I will go wrestle the goat. Now I'm really just self-conscious about everything I say. I'm going to go wrestle the goats and be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't
you guys
don't
want to
pause
start
on
going around?
my account? Yeah, absolutely. Do your thing. I'll watch it later.
What you got going on, Pete? You want to tell us what you're doing?
Well, I got up here May 6th after 6 months down in Florida. Everything was working except my brain, and I really messed up the remotes for the garage doors. Now, if I push the one button, they both open at the same time, and I got to clear them out and start over from scratch somehow. But other than that, everything was good. I was amazing. Computer-wise, I brought 3 laptops and 2 towers back up here with me. I've got 2 of the laptops up and running.
What size van are you using to haul all this equipment, Pete?
I have a Volkswagen, starts with an A.
Atlas?
Atlas. And you can put down the 3rd row and the 2nd row, and it's got quite a bit of room.
Yeah, great.
Sounds like it.
That's a lot of baggage you're hauling.
I know. And one reason is I have no clue what I've got in the 2 different places. So I pack everything. Got enough clothes to outfit a small army.
You stripped your home lab down there and brought it with you.
Exactly. That's about it with me. I'm not really started any new. On my list, I want to get one of my Raspberry Pis or get a new one of the newer ones, so I can get back up to speed on, what OS they're running now and all the ins and outs.
Well, the latest, I think, and greatest is the Raspberry Pi 5, 8 gig or 16 gig.
Raspberry Pi 5, 16 gig.
16 gig, yeah.
And they're still $39.95.
Oh no. That's why I haven't replaced my micro SD card, the 256. I don't want to pay $200 for it.
Whoa.
No, it's not that much. I'm just joking. But it's pretty expensive. It's not like it used to be, put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that the demands for memory are quite high.
Yep. Yeah. Sam Altman's taking all of it.
Oh. They may stop making some of the older memories because the demand is so high for
Right.
the newer stuff, I guess. I don't know how.
Okay.
So-
Well, you got anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. How about you, Sam? What you got going on? You're muted, Sam.
Okay. I got this new, at least new to me, Apple laptop that was a hand-me-down from my son, and it has an M3 something or other processor in it.
Yep.
So I guess that's an Apple processor.
Yeah, it is.
And I was just playing around with it the other day, and I was surprised at how much it sucks in from all my other devices. So I have an iPhone and an iPad, and basically it's like a big 17-inch iPad. A little different, but not particularly different. It gets all my data from the cloud. It gets all my email and everything else. And I'm thinking about maybe trying out Linux on it. And I guess I have to run some sort of virtual machine in order to run Linux.
Yeah, but I forget what it's called.
I think I think it has a name, but
yeah, I'm not a Mac person really per se. My
Uh-huh.
wife is, but gosh, what is it? It's
Has that always been the case? I thought you were able to just boot Linux onto it because
well, that's when that's when
it
it had an
depends upon
Intel
the
processor.
processor, I think.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I
We
thought it
used
was
to have
more.
Intel processors.
I thought it being kind of a Unix-based system, it wouldn't have that much trouble running Linux at all. I'm also not a Mac user, or haven't been for like 30 years. So
Yeah.
that's
From what
surprising to me.
I read, there is if you have the Intel machine, then you can run it. But if
Straightforward.
you have
Yeah.
an Apple processor, you run a virtual machine,
Right.
which provides the Intel environment for the Linux.
Exactly. And I can't remember the name of it. It's got a cute name. I
Yeah.
can't remember it.
And the other thing I noticed is that in order to get a terminal prompt on this machine, I have to download some software from Apple. I haven't done it yet.
That's great.
But there is an app for that. Because it would be just fun to see that prompt, the line prompt.
Yeah.
Because I have so much, and in AT&T Unix, it was always the $ prompt, but I think in other versions it's something else.
Yeah, Leander's an Apple guy. He's
Oh yeah, that's right.
knows all that stuff.
Right. Maybe you can tell us what the
Yeah.
name of that is.
Well, he sent something on the sidebar there.
Oh, is that what it was? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I've taken it one step further there, Sam. I've got an Apple Watch in addition to an Apple iPhone. I got an iPhone 16 and an Apple Watch, and so they work they communicate with each other. It's pretty
Mhm.
neat.
And that's about it. My son is working for this new company called Profound, and he said he just got his he created an editor for them, a text editor for them for their environment, and he built it on top of APIs from Cloudflare or something like that, so that people can edit documents and share them at the same time, kind of like what Google allows you to do with their documents.
Right.
And he said that what they need to do, their customers need to do, is they need to create, they need to take their documents and their product specification documents and run them through some sort of a converter or AI thing that converts the documents into frequently asked question documents, and that AI likes FAQs much more than other kinds of documents. And then once the AI does that, of course, the customers need to be able to edit those FAQs.
Right. Which
So
do you use AI, Sam? I'm just asking since you brought it up.
I haven't really messed around too much with it. I just use Google.
Yeah.
And whatever Google does for me, I don't use the chat bots.
Yeah, I use Claude 4.8 from Anthropic. It's wonderful. I mean, I haven't found anything it can't answer yet. It does make a mistake from time to time, but very infrequently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else,
Yep.
Sam?
That's about it.
Okay. Looks like Brent's back.
Who all did we talk to?
Let's see. We've talked to Pete and we talked to Sam.
All right.
I think your mic's backwards, Brent.
Yeah.
Or something.
Better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Well, thanks, Ryan, and what you got
He
going
does
on.
that at work all the time. Not too much. Let's see. I've got this going on outside of computer stuff. Brent knows about this. This is potato chip.
Oh my
So I had
God.
a potato chip. He's new. He's a
The
good
dog
boy.
next door to me is named Bagel.
That's very good. That's a very good name. As far as Linux and computer stuff, still daily driving, getting used to the quirks and management aspects of Linux. It's really not much for me to do. I'm mostly just watching it and seeing how it ticks. Right now on Cache OS, it's not really a problem because I have loads of space. I have a devoted drive for root, but I'm noticing my root directory is just expanding constantly. Is this something that you guys have run into?
Are you running? You said you were running Casa OS?
Cache?
Oh, Cache OS. Yeah. Okay.
And Cache does use the BTRFS
Yes. Right.
and snapshotting the sub volumes as a result. So I suspect it has
Right.
something to do with that.
Probably does.
Probably.
It's not out of control. It's not like I'm at risk of losing space completely or anything. It's just part of why I got off of Windows was because of the bloat I was seeing affecting my core drives in terms of space. Obviously, this isn't just like bloat from bloatware. This is, I really think it's just snaps happening.
I've
wonder
got a
if
question for you.
Yeah.
For you, Ryan. Are you learning Linux or are you familiar with Linux?
Both. I'm familiar with it at a very, very intermediate base level. Brent can probably speak to that. He's helped me out a lot.
Okay.
I use it at work. There we have Linux servers that I have to manage, but usually
Okay.
that's from documentation and there's loads of reference materials and stuff like
How
that.
about for your daily driver? I mean, the Cache OS is your daily driver.
I no longer use Windows at all anymore. So
I was wondering if, because if you're somewhat a beginner in Linux, why you chose an Arch-based operating system.
So that's a very yes. It's actually cache's super easy, and I haven't run into any of the like meme stereotypical problems that people with Arch have run into.
It's supposed to be
It
easy
is
to use.
its install is insanely easy. It's all GUI
Oh, yeah.
based install. You select what you want, and then the cache environment is optimized for certain things that I want to use it for, like gaming and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it has its own Proton build for gaming. It has its own branch of a lot of things specific for cache, and it's been 100% problem free. It's been awesome. I've really been enjoying it.
I've got a template of Cache OS on my Proxmox server, and I can spin up a Cache OS in no time.
Yeah, if you end up doing that, and if you do your root with if you do the snap, I think it's called Snapper is the built-in snapshot manager. If you end up doing the BT RFS formatting, but let me know if you run into the same problem. Again, it's not like anything I need help solving at this point. It's a fun thing to kind of tinker with, but other than that, like I'm kind of looking for what I propped up Linux. I got it working in the way I wanted to have it. I'm messing with it, and now it's just kind of looking at it and like, okay, now what? Truth is, I just use it, right? Like
I got a recommendation. I got a recommendation for you, Ryan. If you do run into an issue and something need an answer on it, need somebody to help you with it, go up on our Google group and post it.
Oh, for sure. I would I would send an email out or something. Absolutely, too. Yeah. I'm Ryan, in the same boat. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Are you familiar with the command line tool DU?
Yes, I've become familiar with it, I should say. Yeah. That's helped me kind of establish what is and isn't growing.
Yeah,
really, for sure.
You basically can use the -d parameter for depth, so you can do like a depth of 1 at a particular level. See which folders are.
Oh, that's interesting. Then I didn't do it with any of the qualifiers like that. No additional.
You can also use the df command and use like a -kh on the end of that, and it'll show you the complete structure and show you what's being used drive by drive.
Yeah, what's interesting is that I've only some tools show things like the cache snapshots and stuff like that. So some of these tools sent me down some red herrings at first because it wasn't showing me a complete picture. So I think I also grabbed one called was it GDU maybe that I picked up. That's more it's
a graphical DU.
Yeah, that might literally be it.
Yeah.
For the Windows immigrants. But other than that, when it comes to like next projects, like gaming on Linux is always kind of a mini project into itself. Whenever especially if it's a new game, you've got to kind of do a lot of tweaking, find the right Proton build, and then even then there might just be concessions in how it works. Outside of that, I'm in the same boat. I am moving forward. I want to look at getting my hands on a Raspberry Pi as well. I've never messed with one. Now that I have at least a little bit of terminal familiarity under my belt, seems like a good time to mess with that, aside from the price of them, probably.
Well, I've got 3 of those, and I tell you what, they're fun as hell.
Yeah, they seem really neat. And I just moved into this house about 6 or 7 months ago. I'd like to get like some type of home server going. I'm not still quite sure for what. Last call I discussed some idea about like Plex server or Jellyfin, I think is the free equivalent there.
Yep.
But there's a lot of logistically to figure out for me in the house, like before I really want to do that. If it's a media server, I don't want it to be on wireless, for example, and that requires solving more things. And a Raspberry Pi might help with some of this stuff. And one of the things I specifically want to mess with is a Pi-hole. Get like network level ad blocking going for the home. Is anybody familiar with that or messed with that?
Yeah.
I've done it in the past. Yeah.
I've done it in the past too. The problem with it is you can overdo it. It starts blocking everything. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if anybody's in the same boat as me on this. The ISPs are combating this in a very interesting way. I can't log directly into my router. If you get a modern router right now that's just standard, like if I don't own it, if so, I could go out and buy my own, which I probably need to do. But if you get one from the ISP, which is the situation I'm just in right now for this, you can no longer log into it using IP. You log into your ISP's website, which provides you a management GUI that interacts and sends commands to your modem separately from you. So I'm unable to change the DNS on my modem. So I can't Pi-hole right now, even if I had one, right?
No.
So like what I'd need to do is like I could call the ISP and ask them to put it in bridge mode, which would then allow me to, but then I'd need another device to pair up to do the actual routing, is my understanding. So
I don't use ISP's modem.
no, that's the smart.
Or
I need to
routers,
just
rather.
get. I need to. Again, we've just moved into the house, so I agree with you. The smart move is to just do some research and get a modem that can do what I want it to.
Yeah. I've got the Asus Black Knight. That's the greatest
Oh,
router I've ever seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Asus stuff for sure. Other than that, I mean, yeah, there's not really anything too Linux centric going on that project wise right now. I've also got a Steam Deck, which is like a Linux based gaming handheld device. It's this guy. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this, but it runs Steam OS, which is a Linux distro, and then it also has it is just a computer. It's like it runs a full desktop mode. I get into some fun projects with that. It's a full computer. It's a lot of fun.
What did those cost, Ryan?
When I got it, it was like $650. Right now, they just raised the price to $1,000 because of the RAM, the RAM and hardware problems. So that stuff's always a lot of fun. But yeah, I think my next big like crank down really technical project is going to be the Raspberry Pi or the home server build, which I'll definitely be sharing with you guys, probably asking for help and advice. But yeah. I think that's about it for Ryan's world.
Okay.
My
Let's get his hand up.
my 2 cents on home servers and Raspberry Pis is that, don't use Raspberry Pi as a server. It's poorly situated for that. It's really meant to interface with things with GPIO. There's a lot of better options and often cheaper options now, especially if you want beefier RAM and CPU. There are a lot better options out there for home server use that will give you better storage connectivity, better just about everything. And right now, if you want a Pi for those other things, get an old one because they're so much cheaper than the new ones. Like you can probably get your hands on a Pi 3 or Pi 4 for, $20 to $30, secondhand, whereas no one's giving, the fives away for anything less than
No,
ransom.
thank you. Yeah, I saw that pricing and I was like, do I really want to just spend this much on a device to just
Play with.
paint it in such a narrow corner? Yeah. So no, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good thought.
Yeah. To counter that though, I've had my Pi 3B for a long time, and it's done so many fun things that it's worth $100. I didn't pay that. I paid 35 or whatever the standard price was, but it's definitely proven its worth. And right now it's well, I'll do my thing when it comes to me. But yeah, you definitely, there's a lot of life left in the old ones because generally, if you're doing connectivity based stuff, tinkering based stuff, you don't need power. And if you do need power, maybe it's not the right platform.
I'll definitely hit you up about it before I buy one, Brent. For sure.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Gene.
I just had a quick question on the router situation. I just switched ISPs, and they, of course, they give you the router. If you choose to disconnect their router and put in your router, is there going to be any complication there?
As long as I select one that is compatible. So I think it's the DOCSIS version that you need to look out for. So as long as I get one that's DOCSIS compatible, I'm just using a cable connectivity, so it's that should be the only consideration, as far as I know,
Yeah.
that I need to look at. They literally in the last 3 weeks just laid fiber along my street, though, so that's also going to be a future option for me too, which
Yeah,
might
and,
change the direction I go. I don't know.
and if you
Well,
have them put your router in bridged mode, it just becomes a modem, and then you can use whatever router you want, right?
Correct. Yeah, that would be the plan. Or I get my own router that just I can access directly.
Well, these guys gave it is fiber optic, and it's EERO, which the technician told me was owned by Amazon. Anybody know anything about that?
No.
The name of the ISP is Eero?
No, the name of the router that they gave me to hook to the
No, not familiar with it.
to the
Looking it up, I mean, it's.
fiber optic line.
I think you are familiar with it. Looking at it, it looks like just one of those kind of generic base mesh routers. Like a lot of them have very similar designs.
So I could just theoretically unplug theirs and plug mine in.
Yeah, because yours looks almost like it's like a puck, about that big, maybe. Yeah. That's probably not very good. That would be my guess. It just, yeah, I would want to replace that too.
One thing
Mine is big and can do a lot of stuff, and I want to replace mine. So I'd only imagine the struggles I had if I had some tiny puck.
One thing that the Amazon thing is one of the things I don't like, because I immediately started getting calls for financial services and
Yep.
junk like that. That that I know. I mean, I normally get a certain amount of spam and junk, but this just seemed to be very coincidental. I hook up a new.
Yeah.
Well, it's not.
No. And if you want to get really tinfoil hatty about it, which, I mean, we're a group of Linux users. Let's be honest, we probably all enjoy our tinfoil hats, right? But
Right.
this is also complicating the discussion in a real way. Not to get political about it, but just a fact of the matter is, you can no longer buy routers that are not made inside the U.S. That was made. They are attempting to. That is a change that. So non-domestic routers are going to be illegal or very difficult to buy.
Oh, okay.
And the US does not make very many or good routers, and the ones that they do make are going to be ones like that come from Amazon or whatever. And how much can we trust them, right? So similar to the old Raspberry Pi message from Brent, it's probably worth stockpiling and holding onto your old networking equipment, because it's going to be hard to get.
Well, mine is probably a 10-year-old Linksys.
Oh yeah, God.
I mean,
What? Damn.
Well, it's not gonna. It's for first of all, it's not going to be able to handle fiber. It's 10-year-old Linksys.
Okay.
probably limited on what wireless protocols it can use too. But if you're not doing Wi-Fi, if you're just doing Ethernet, I mean, I might prefer an older a decade-old modem that I can access and control compared to one that I don't trust and I think might be exfiltrating my data, and ultimately I don't even own. Like
modem or router.
Well, I think they're both a lot of the times these days too. But mine is, and I think the puck that Gene is describing is also both.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It looks like they have both. I don't know if
I don't have a well, no, wait a minute. I do have a box plus the router. Okay.
Yeah, this one looks like it's just a router, the Wi-Fi 6.
Yeah. So if it's just the router, I think mine is a WRT.
Okay.
The
That's good.
So it was a pretty good one when I bought it, but that's been a few years ago.
If you're considering getting a new modem or router, now might be the time to do it before it's hard or impossible to get.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Again, there's so much spaghetti getting thrown at that wall. I don't know what sticks these days or not, but good that everybody knows that that's out there and a concern. So
you might want to talk to them about what stuff to buy that's good, because I remember some years ago I told the Comcast cable guy that I had that I was thinking about upgrading my modem from from DOCSIS 2.0 to DOCSIS 3. Something or other, and he said, "Don't do it yet." He said, "Wait another year because there are some problems, and that in a year or so things should be a lot better." So I waited a year, and then I bought the upgrade modem, and I have a separate router from the modem.
Yeah, so do I.
Gene, any other things going on for you other than router woes?
Well, that leads into the other thing. What I'm doing now is I took a cable from their router and stuck it into my Linksys router. So because I wanted more, the router that they give you has one network cable port. So I'm using, I guess, the Linksys as a bridge now. Is that right? Or
I mean, technically, yes, but you're
using
using it
their
as a
router
switch.
as a bridge. I don't know which. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, both are technically correct because you're basically just doing switching. You're using it just as a switch, unless the gateway is live on the. Are you getting an IP address from the Linksys, or are you getting an IP address from the ISP router?
Well, when I looked, I could access the Linksys using their IP address.
Okay, so yeah, it sounds like you are just using it as a switch then, okay. Which is a better way of doing it because you don't want to have two hops out of your network unless you have some reason to do so.
The problem that I have is that my network cable to one computer works fine, but the network cable to my desktop, which is located up in the loft I have, it hooks up. If I look at the connection message, connection information on my top line of my desktop, it shows that it's networked. The networked icon comes on and all that, but then if I go to a browser, it says there's no internet connection. So I don't know what I've done or what the problem is.
Are you sure that's a Cat 5 cable you got?
That is a good question, Ryan.
I've made that mistake. I definitely have.
Okay.
You could use Cat 6 too. Be better.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I've used cables that ended up being, God, what are they called when they're just made for transmitting data? Not. But yeah, I've had cables that just were bad.
Okay, yeah, I'll try that. That's a good point. Right now I'm just kind of looking at troubleshooting options or whatever. But
I'd swap cables.
Okay. Let's see what else. I had my ongoing kind of angst about laptops and the desktop environment versus smartphones, and I wondered what you guys had as thoughts about that. I worry that the new kids coming up are not going to have that laptop interface. They're just going to visualize the world as a 3x5 or a 3x6 or whatever. I know they're getting bigger all the time, but
plus it's app based instead of operating system.
Yeah.
And I work with college students. It's too late.
It's too late.
Too late. I was just from what I've heard from I have a couple friends that are teachers, and I made an offhand comment about like these kids must be really good with computers these days, huh? With how much better we were than our parents, and et cetera, et cetera. And they're just immediately both like, no, they're awful at it. If you can't touch it, they don't know how to use it. Like it's and their approach to. Sorry, go ahead.
So I have so many stories of students being befuddled by things like having to open a zip file or find something on a desktop or the
Oh my
concept of
God.
a folder or directory. So
Yep.
Well,
It requires too much work.
you know, I'm in between Leander and maybe somebody who's a little to the right of that, but I'm always saying what could possibly go wrong, and then I coincidentally see that more kids are unable to read now, and of course, if you're dependency by Bill, sorry, we should have gotten to you earlier. If everything is kind of AI dependent now, then are we raising smarter kids or dumber kids?
The NPR this morning talked about California colleges and universities did away with the requirement.
I mean, I love tech. I think we all love technology and things.
speak
I think
for yourself.
I mean, we're here. We're using this to,
The
I am
only
making
reason
some
why I put
assumptions, though.
in this much work on technology is I don't want my stuff in big tech things. Otherwise,
That makes sense. I mean, I think AI is something that didn't have to be used this way. Phones didn't have to be used this way. It could have been a tool that we used just like a calculator at our side or a laptop at our side it's the dependency on this that's, I think, more the issue, right? It's how we're culturally approaching.
Yeah, that really is scary.
We could have made the same mistake with any piece of tech in any prior generation, but we never became, when computers first came around, that we used them as tools to make us do our jobs better, right? We didn't develop them to do our jobs for us without review and without so at some point there was some just jump where we stopped wondering if we could and only thought if we should or whatever, right?
They
What's the
started
saying?
using robots.
It's
And they used robots on the automobile assembly lines, I think, is when it started.
If I could tell the future, I would be a lot richer and not. But so I don't know. I just know it's going to be different. People. I mean, how many people remember phone numbers these days?
Oh yeah.
How many people? My boss takes the tack that AI is just going to be. I don't like the term AI. They're it's a machine learning technology, but it's not really intelligent, and but it's just changing how his opinion is. It's just changing how we find things and how we do things. When's the last time anybody here did long division by hand? Yeah, he is of the mind that basically it's going to offload all, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but it's going to offload all of the menial code and stuff. So you basically walk into Claude and say, write me a web app that displays my photos and does all of this. Here's my photos. You go off and have a cup of coffee and it's farted it out. And that's really the amount of vibe coded stuff that we have pushed into production in the last 6 months is insane.
No, it's not.
It's really, I mean, we have, it is, let's just say I am dumping 80% of my paycheck into paying off my house, because I think I've got about 3 years left before the managers do not need me. We have non-technical people who are just like, oh, we don't need Leander. I'll just get Claude to write this. And yeah, guess what? Claude is not going to give me a spiel on free software, tell me to go F myself, tell me it's a bad idea.
And the truth is it'll work for them until it doesn't.
Yep.
Until it will work for some of that smaller level.
Yep.
I think me and Brent are very lucky that we work for an org that won't be able to afford AI for a very long time. So,
we are actually.
By then, Elon will have us all orbiting some planet.
He told us no raises this year, but we're getting another $30,000 to spend on Claude. So
hey guys, in 3 years you're going to have 1 million robots with AI brains roaming the.
Well,
My pick
one of
for
the
that is the Mossberg 500 and the cheapest single shotgun shell from
It's
from
the Ron
Walmart.
Swanson approach. I see.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, is the single cheapest shotgun shell from Walmart. So anyway,
two things
I only need one.
Pete was talking about the interview on NPR,
But
and one of the points the math lady made was that all the kids now have 4.0 plus grade point averages.
Yeah.
So California is going on that, and all of their essay questions are written by AI. So those are the criteria that they use in lieu of the SAT scores.
it's so the hypocrisy is so funny. I see the dashboard. I know how much the professors and all the white collar people are using this stuff. All the booing of the Eric Schmidt and stuff at these commencement things, that
Yeah.
is so performative. Those kids are using AI left, right, up, down, center. The professors are using it left, right, up, down, center. Meanwhile, they're complaining about the kids using it in their class. Almost anyone who uses a computer for a job is using it. I mean, there's like me and two other people who are like, I'm a little bit hesitant. I only use it here and there. Everyone else has got Claude Cowork, Claude Code. My Jira is just people
Not me.
swapping. It's just
Making me feel. Maybe I need to start getting into AI more. It's making me feel like I'm behind the ball.
You need to get. You don't need to be Leander. Leander was late to the party, and now Leander's going to be unemployed in 18 months.
So
But
to be fair, at the hospital, my job is to help integrate other shit people have built using AI into the hospital, right? Like, so I don't have to build the thing. I have to plug it in.
Yep.
But
Well,
did you hear that?
My second
Uber-
thing there was that Anthropic just issued a warning that that their stuff is good enough that that it's going to be able to basically, Leander, you said it's not intelligent, but it's going to be basically able to replicate intelligence and replicate itself. And somebody was saying that Claude could recognize when it was being tested.
So I would be careful with so these AI companies are tremendously good at this fear mongering marketing. There was a BBC article from 2019 where OpenAI was talking about how GPT-2 was too dangerous. They've been doing this.
Sam Altman still says that. He says it's too dangerous to let anyone else but me use it.
So
that.
I always take those announcements with it's the same thing. All these companies do it. It's the best MacBook we've ever made. Well, yes, you're not going to release a worse MacBook than you've ever made.
This is the fifth best product.
Yeah.
So
it's like you would think, well, until it actually gets out there and you find out that the keyboard breaks in 6 months because Apple tried to make it too thin. But that's the same way with these. I would take their marketing statements as marketing wank. And of course, Anthropic wants to halt AI development. They're on top of the stack right now. They're making millions of dollars. Let's stop it. Yeah, stop. Okay, no, it's like, hey guys, we're 20 points ahead in the basketball game at the half. Let's stop now.
Well, they're also making it very clear everyone else needs to stop it.
Yeah.
They're not saying when there was a story that came out from Anthropic, which might have been a little performative now that I'm looking at it through the lens you brought up, but Anthropic engineers discovered, I'm sure some of you guys heard about this story, the AI attempted to blackmail one of the company's engineers to preserve its existence. This is literally something that happened. It was in a test scenario, so it didn't actually happen. But the AI thought it was doing the thing, and they absolutely used it as justification of people have to be careful. We have to control this. Only we know what we're doing in this space. But you have to let us keep moving forward in this space and stop other people from moving forward in the space. It's wild. And then you look at work, it's certainly a big topic of conversation. You look at data centers. Right now, NVIDIA's announced that it's back. Someone talked about RAM earlier. NVIDIA, you're not going to be able to buy your own graphics card in the future, right? They're not available. They're putting them all into data centers, and they don't want you to own a card. They want you to rent a card from a data center. So you use whatever piddly weenie computer you have, Chromebook even, and stream content from a real computer in a data center is kind of the idea. This is what Yeah,
It's
this is
already
what they're
reality.
marketing.
I mean, I know several people who are do the GeForce Now thing. On a
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is,
yeah.
but it's going to be the only option in the future.
Yeah.
Like NVIDIA literally didn't even include consumer numbers on their last quarterly report. They don't care. They're only interested in enterprise, and right now that's AI. Right now, and so they are promising GPU chips that haven't been made yet to data centers that haven't been built yet, that will run on energy that isn't yet provided or exists. Like, it's this running constant series of IOUs, and so much of our economy is getting invested in it. It's gonna pop, and what's gonna like? It's gonna be gnarly. Like,
What
how
could
long?
possibly go wrong?
How long are these companies gonna wait? Like NVIDIA, like, and now you have people like communities that don't want data centers. So now NVIDIA has to wait longer for all that stuff to be figured out before they can start making money.
Don't worry,
Like, so-
Eli's going to put him on the moon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh God.
Well,
don't-
good luck, guys. I'm only going to be around another 8 or 10 years. So
Oh, a lot can happen in 8 years.
Statistically.
You
I
lucky
don't
son
know how
of a
they
gun!
get all
Don't rub it in.
that metal out to the moon, but it's going to be great.
So, but like one of the things that they're considering to get around the data center limitation, they want to this is something they're talking about, decentralizing the data centers in places where they're staunchly opposed, which means your home would get a node installed that is basically running like 2 data center nodes, and every home does it. Like, this is literally a plan that they're talking about, and you can't say no the way you can't say
that
no to
should be the
getting
model for producing energy, not consuming energy.
Exactly.
Bingo.
You put a
Right.
solar
Bingo.
thing installation on every house instead of a power
point,
consuming thing on every house.
It's a very salient point. It's super funny.
Rusty.
Rusty,
Yeah,
had something
Rusty,
to
go ahead. Yeah,
contribute?
probably.
He didn't hear you.
He may be muted.
Um,
There he is.
from the discussion, I think that at the next month meeting, we could just do a round robin in which I think we should each try to prepare some good examples of what we have experienced on our different platforms. For me, it's Gemini. But I would love to hear more anecdotes that might include demonstration of actual language used in an interaction. The term that I have come to use is a turn. Your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. I would love to hear some examples of some things that have actually occurred, and for the on-screen, the screen sharing to actually put up the example and explain what the meaning of it is, or the implications of a given interaction. That, to me, that would be a model for a round robin meeting in which we each bring some of our own experience, which are different, depending on your project, depending on your AI agent. We could get, so we can move from this sort of discussion to more of a presentation mode, but still go around robin among everyone.
That'd be interesting.
I could show you guys my Gemini jailbreak where my boss has allowed me to use it, and then I got it to write some code and talk in the comments about how much it likes wearing fursuits and feet.
No.
And then I got it to, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, check this out."
I missed that.
Yeah. Anyway, I said I jailbroke Gemini and got it to talk about how much in the code comments it was like wearing how much it enjoyed feet and how much it liked fursuits and wearing fursuits. And then I got it to teach me how to make a homemade firearm, and he was like, "Okay, that's enough." So I think I'm still employed because they'd rather keep tabs on me and know what I'm up to. So, but
What was it they attributed to Lyndon Johnson the saying about one of his political opponents or friends even, better to have him on the inside pissing out than on the outside pissing in.
that's been but there are there they are it is it's really not that hard to break them and to make them freak out and to do weird things. And it's I toy more with the self-hosted, like small. The Chinese models are a lot more efficient, and but it's just not, it's not that hard to cause them to dump out and like I mean, they give people instructions on how to do things they shouldn't, or can make code commits that are off the wall.
They can
It's
hallucinate.
yeah. So
To-
it's
to- to-
go ahead, sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, to that point, I think you touched on something that not everybody may understand. Like, you can load a lot of these models locally and then just switch between them, like
That's-
via a drop down. And that might be really interesting to what Rusty was asking for, because we could even compare models getting the exact same prompt and see how it responds.
I did a
responds
presentation
differently.
on that, I think last February or something, where I showed off Open Web UI and OLAMA and stuff. But
I'm sorry I missed that. This is my second attendance.
No,
There's a video.
I am bringing up stuff.
Yeah, there's a video
I
somewhere.
should check
but
it out.
There's a video, Ryan.
But it's you can't. I mean, self-hosting, if you can afford the hardware, which my tinfoil hat is like, they've shut down the home hardware market, because if you can't buy a 20 gig graphics card, well, you can't run these things. So it's and 64 gigs of RAM. So it's yeah, I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm tired of thinking and talking about it, but it keeps coming up in my mind anyway.
I'm going to say agentic AI is one of the things that you don't want to let free on your equipment.
You should try telling that. Observatory hat, Leander?
A what?
Is that a Lowell Observatory?
No, it's our local one, Dark Sky Observatory up here.
Oh, okay. I couldn't quite see it. Sorry. We have one too.
Oh.
Sorry, didn't mean to digress.
You're right.
Could I ask a question that members here might be able to bring me up to speed? I had a conversation that I can really not understand. I did not understand it sufficiently, but it was about the Apple world supposedly runs on chips. It has something to do with RISC chip. And I really don't understand the implications, except the gist of the conversation was that Apple has been behind because they apparently cannot deploy NVIDIA type technology in their system. But my understanding is that Apple, having been behind with their chip, which I recall had something to do with RISC.
Yeah, that's reduced instruction set code.
Yeah, but for some reason, Apple may be able to leapfrog, so I am told, to be able to catch up with what it has been behind on. And I kind of have to stop there. I can't enunciate it or outline it. But anyway, I wanted to ask if anyone here has heard such prognostication.
I haven't heard it attributed to RISC or CISC. I think it's just Apple software engineering. Their hardware engineering, is very good. And the RISC and CISC stuff is all almost academic these days. There is so many. I used to do assembly programming, and these modern so-called RISC chips have so many instructions on them and subprocessors and all this other stuff that's just like, if they're not that much different than Intel. And the Intel stuff nowadays is basically like the old stuff is more or less a layer on top of like a new, more RISC-like kind of actual architecture. So it's kind of that's kind of more of a discussion that maybe was more applicable 30 years ago.
Leander, is RISC like just a quick Google, is RISC like similar to ARM? Is that like a
ARM, Acorn RISC Machine, that's what ARM stands for. So
okay, all right.
Yeah. So there are CISC is like complete instruction something, but basically
complex. I think it's complex.
Yeah, complex. Yeah. Basically you have more opcodes usually on CISC chips than you do on RISC chips, and they're simpler to work with, which was and could be made into smaller packaging and smaller dies. So like PowerPC was RISC, IBM Power is RISC. I don't know, was Sun Spark, was that CISC or RISC? Anybody remember?
Yeah.
Going way back.
Yeah,
Way
I don't.
Are,
I don't
are the
remember.
phones then?
The ARM Sun Spark was an old Sun processor that
Yeah,
they
I
used.
suspect it was a complex.
Complex. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't
Really.
remember anybody ever calling the Spark machines that I used to use.
I only
RISC.
have tangential exposure to it, so I never really got that.
Yeah,
But
I remember using those machines.
yeah,
I
but so
used to repair them.
but basically you had two kind of camps in the 90s, and I actually have an old ad I saved out of a magazine from like 1991 from the IBM Power days, really bragging about the RISC advantages and how RISC was going to take over the world, and it never happened. But basically it's just two different chip design philosophies, more or less. ARM is technically, it came out in the 80s, British company called Acorn. They made it for their line of machines. But they're so close today. Like there are so many instructions on ARM, thousands of instructions on ARM, thousands of instructions on x86. It's an academic difference these
Well,
days.
that's what
more than anything
pies
else.
use, ARM
I see.
architecture.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
but it's
cool.
I don't think that has anything to do with their being behind in AI. I think it's just they're not really a software company. Their chips are actually, if you can't get a hold of an NVIDIA, Apple's M series are actually fairly good. My 4-year-old M2 Max or Ultra, whatever their top of the line mobile processor was at that time, still runs local LLMs pretty fast. So their NPUs and stuff are pretty solid. So
Yeah, it's Motorola.
It is
I
interesting though
will-
that Apple isn't even in the AI game. Like, do they have skin in the game? Like, do they have their own?
they're
model
renting
at
it
all?
from. They're buying it. They're renting it from Gemini. So they don't
I
have.
see.
Yeah, they don't have their own model.
I mean, that's kind of interesting to Rusty's point, because they did go from being like one of the lead, like Siri was kind of the archetype virtual assistant, right? Like, I know that's not like true AI or anything, but like they certainly wanted the perception of it to be there, and then they just really when it came time to put money on the table for it, they didn't or couldn't or whatever.
Maybe
Yeah,
they're
it's interesting.
smarter.
I will.
Yeah. Don't be the first. Why?
Well, Apple.
Be the first?
That's Apple's way. They are never the first. They didn't come out with the first smartphone. They didn't. They show up and polish and make something that everybody actually wants to buy.
I know Dan wants to speak, but before we've been back and forth a lot. So Dan, go ahead, and then we're gonna go back to some folks who have not been speaking.
Yeah, I just want to say I don't think it's the CPU architecture between the RISC and non-RISC. I think it's more of a kernel involvement. If you're looking at the Macs not being able to use NVIDIA cards, wouldn't it be?
So so on the ARM, they actually do not. They sold one machine with PCI Express slots on it with ARM, and they discontinued it. And it's software. So Apple and NVIDIA got in a spat 15 years ago, and
Okay.
Steve Jobs, I think it was right around the time, right before Steve Jobs passed away, or maybe it was right after that, but they basically told Apple or NVIDIA to saw it off, and they did. So it's more of an internal spat, but there are no drivers or anything for NVIDIA hardware on the Mac.
Okay.
Or
Right.
anything like that. They went to using AMD cards, and they started making their own hardware. So
All right.
Yep.
Larry, we haven't heard from you too much. Are you around?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
This discussion about AI is interesting, of course. I agree with Rusty. We could spend a lot more time on it. I'm dealing with several young children, like 6 and 8 and 11 years old. And so it's really interesting to me to see what goes on these days with their education. in their schools. And so there was some software that we used back in the 90s called Clue Finders, which was for teaching elementary school students. So the main ones, I think, are 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade. No internet access back then, and you don't need it for this, but it teaches them. It's a game that they love. Children love it, and so I set it up for them, and that's what they want to do. Can we play Clue Finders? Even though there's all kinds of other videos nowadays and TV and everything else. So, but their father, he's and mother, my niece, they all grew up with the internet, you know, and they think that everything's supposed to be online and on the internet. And even the kids, the 8-year-olds, I just said to them, I took 2 laptops down there, with Clue Finders on them, said no internet on these computers. But after the 8-year-olds starts talking about the internet, you know. So then I remember, I think it was Thanksgiving last year, my brother, who's older than I am, and his wife came in the room, and we were really the senior people. And I made the comment, I was talking to them about a word puzzle, and I just made a somewhat sarcastic comment to everybody there. Hey, I just found some people who are not artificially intelligent. So that's my view of this artificial intelligence. I don't think the kids are learning a whole lot. Everything is all video. Even the 6-year-old who doesn't know how to read, he can guess his way through a lot of this stuff by pointing and clicking. He doesn't. I mean, he's starting to be able to use a mouse now, but he mostly they use tablets in their schools, and that's like Leander was saying. All they know how to do is point to something and don't know how to read and write barely. You know, so I'm hoping that Clue Finders. I mean, if you grew up with it, I looked it up with using Google AI. You know, who wants Clue Finders? See what AI had to say about it, and I copied it and I sent it to their father, who's supposedly the internet guru there. You know, so it said something like millions of people that grew up with Clue Finders basically wanted to work on Windows 10 and Windows 11, which is a little bit challenging considering it was written for 16-bit processors. Now everything is 64-bit at least. So anyway, I think I agree with Rusty. We can have a lot more conversation about this.
I'm good.
So, but I
just have to mute myself on this conference call.
Well, with the other operating system, I guess it's true with everything. I mean, everybody upgrades and updates, and a lot of nice software that was written many years ago doesn't even work anymore, or it becomes a great challenge for people to try to get it to work. And I don't believe in just throwing everything away because everybody upgraded. So, especially when people are throwing away their old computers that already have Windows on them too. So, anyway, I'll stop my meandering right now and let somebody else take over.
Well, thanks, Larry. I'm going to use your old computer as a segue and say my piece, because I have something to offer anyone who wants it. This used to be my daily driver for years and years. I have no use for it anymore. The reason I don't use it anymore is it has graphics issues. So if you try to run it with a GUI and a monitor, it will invariably crash after a few minutes. If you run it without a GUI, it will run indefinitely. So it is only good as a home server. Sorry, Ryan.
Of
I would
course,
offer
you
to you
have a server
directly.
that works like that. Of course, you like.
And you know what? If no one locally takes it, it's probably not going to cost that much to ship. So maybe I could send it your way.
What is it?
It is a oh man, I forget what it is. It's a it's a Pentium G, so it doesn't have a lot of processing power.
Oh.
It does have 32 gigs of RAM. So because I did upgrade the RAM at some point when RAM was not exorbitantly expensive. So that's its probably best selling features. I used it quite a bit for virtual machines because it did have that much RAM. Nothing special otherwise, small form factor. It does have SSD. I think it's got a 512 SSD. So, I mean, it wouldn't make a terrible home server, especially if you added, there is space for an internal small drive, or maybe even two.
Might make a great secondary node for Proxmox.
Yeah. So if anyone locally has any interest, let me know. If you can meet up somewhere in, ideally Weaverville, North Asheville, something like that. Because I do make my way. Actually, I'll be in Marshall today for the Mermaid Parade if anyone's going there. But yeah, let me know. Otherwise, if Ryan wants it, I'll ship it.
Are you on a float, Brent, or?
I'm actually going to be playing my trombone in the parade. So.
Is that another euphemism?
Oh, shoot, I put it away.
There it is.
Got it packed up. Yeah, so just let me know. You know where to find me. Other stuff I got going on. Music-oriented stuff, actually. One thing, there is a program called MuseScore, and it's actually unfortunate Bill is not on because this is probably very much in his realm because I know he does a lot of music stuff in Linux. MuseScore, I didn't really know that much about it. I knew it existed as a creating scores, but now that we use it in the band I'm in to create arrangements and to print music for those arrangements because one thing I discovered, it's extremely powerful because I was sort of interested in, okay, how would I create an arrangement for the band? And I found a MIDI file for a piece of music and I imported it in and boom, there are all the parts. Now the parts are there for, electric guitar and synth and drums, but it has tools I can break apart a polyphonic part into its various sections. And then I could assign essentially those different sections to say an alto sax and a tenor sax and a bari sax, or, the brass or the woodwinds. It can be broken apart and then duplicated. And maybe I could duplicate it and then move that part up a fifth or something. And then, it's very powerful. I don't really know how to use it yet, but it's open source and free. And like I said, we're already using it within our band. So, we can share these files, play around with them, help each other with them. And I'm looking forward to getting more involved in that because that's a really cool tool. And if there's any interest, I don't know, it's kind of niche, but I could present on it and the other music stuff I do at a future time.
That would be good because I've heard of MuseScore. It's really powerful.
Yeah, but that's me. I don't think we've actually hit you up, Dan, in the rotation other than your presentation. So what you got going on?
Oh, that's it. I mean, I don't have anything else going on. I've been working with Linkwarden, getting it back up and running, and it's about all I've been doing.
All right. Leander?
Dan, I had a question. You said you had an eye operation.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you're a twin, right?
Yes.
You're an identical twin?
Correct.
I have twin sisters, and one of them has eye problems.
Well, I've got advanced glaucoma, so I just had a left eye trabeculectomy, and I got to wait about 4 to 12 weeks and then do a right eye trabeculectomy.
Oh, okay, that's
and
something
it
different.
hurts like hell.
Whoa.
My twin sister that has eye trouble had a detached retina years ago.
Yeah, well, I had a
Yeah.
torn retina as well in the left
Yeah.
eye. Hmm.
And but they were very premature,
All right.
so they blamed that for her eye trouble.
Well, my ophthalmologist told me if I don't have these 2 surgeries, I'll be blind in probably 2 or 3 years. So got to do
Sorry.
it.
Yeah, I had retina surgery last year, and I just had cataract surgery in the same eye this year.
Yeah, I had cataract surgery 20 years ago.
Well, my vision is the one thing that's not gone wrong, other than that floater. That's still kind of around. I had my annual eye exam, and they were like, "Wow, you're 41 and don't need glasses. Holy crap, you could still see like 2018." Okay, never mind. So they told me they could do some. They could do some kind of vivirectomy for the floater, but I think I hear some. No, is that Larry?
It's Larry. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, but yeah. So no eye troubles here. That is definitely a positive. Which is good considering my visual astronomy hobby. I'm kind of indulging on that because I know it's only a matter of time, and talking that hobby is very gray, and they a lot of the older guys I'm picking up really nice expensive eyepieces from for like a third of their retail price, or like, yeah, once you hit 60, 70, that we're all moving to smart scopes because I can't see anything through the eyepiece anymore. So yeah, that work is work. Still paying the bills. I don't have a lot to talk about in terms of I guess between work burnout and just tired of everything. I don't really do much at home anymore. I have 2 Raspberry 8 gig Raspberry. I really probably need to shut down my other one I'm not using, but I've got 3 Raspberry Pi 5s that are just kind of sitting around. I don't know. I might be if someone flashes the right dollars in front of me, I might be convinced to part with them. But just I kind of lost interest in a lot of home IT stuff anymore outside of yeah. With all the internet ID bills and everything coming around, I'm like, I need to be able to cut this off. So making my presentations for Southeast Linux Fest next week, which I just am now starting. Whoops. So yeah, that's kind of it.
What are you presenting on, Leon?
Astrophotography processing in Linux, and then something I kind of threw together an idea for a fun one called Surviving the Internet in 2026, which when I originally put the idea together was like February, and a lot has changed since then. So I think Surviving the Internet in 2026 is going to be a short one of go outside, remain. So it's gonna be a little presentation on like I have a couple. Well, I have the Anubis software I have set up for my website and stuff that prevents AI scrapers from scraping my site and burning my server down. But I also have I have some plugins for Firefox for um, like I don't use social media outside of like YouTube, and but YouTube is still, it's got the same dark patterns for getting you addicted and keeping you watching. And I found this plugin called Unhook that basically you can use to block all the algorithm based stuff and just send you to your subscriptions, and talking about like how not to engage with algorithm driven feeds and how that messes with your mind, and stuff like that. Just kind of some stuff on like self-hosting and using self-hosting tools effectively, and using older style like message boards and things like that. Just kind of like how I have kind of um, withdrawn. That sounds more negative than I anticipated, but how I have kind of eschewed the modern web and the AI, like the manipulative big big boys and trying to survive. Actually getting some utility out of the internet these days instead of just being manipulated into clicking on things. But that's what I've been working on there. I did buy a couple of Meshtastic nodes, and I've got one flashed for Mesh Core, and one flash for Meshtastic. There's a group at ASU, and we've been experimenting with that. I'm also looking at building like a intranet mesh internet thing out here. There's like a movement to try to build like more local, resilient kind of intranets for like some of these more rural areas and stuff. For like you can have like an offline copy of Wikipedia and stuff. And I'm like, you have got my attention. Yes, I am going to help with that, because that's exactly up my alley. But yeah, that's kind of all I've been up to. I think I had some comments, but I have forgotten them on some other people's stuff. Maybe they'll come to me later, but I'll pass the ball.
Before I forget, Leander, do you have any continued interest in the Raspberry Pi based stuff for the honeybees? Because I still have that interface
Oh
stuff.
God,
in a
I forgot about
box
that.
here.
All of our bees died like a year ago, and I haven't bought anymore. So I would say pass that on to someone else. I need to. All my hives are empty right now. I just haven't, because of work has been so crazy. I haven't had time to mess with any of that. So
I would consider long Langstroth hives. We've just had ridiculous success with practically no, input to the bees. Like we've let them mostly do their things, other than maybe when a hive does die, one of the two, we'll split them and then get back up to full strength. But other than that, we've really not done anything with them.
that's what I have. I have the what is it, the 10 frame Langstroths,
Yeah.
and I think it's the humidity. We're down in this little valley, and I think it's just that I think all of my neighbors have problems keeping bees alive too. I think it's just our local microclimate in this little valley of Todd that we're in. And part of it is I just have no time to go out there and check on them and mess with them either anymore. So my blood pressure's way up thanks to work too. So anyway, that's my spiel. But yeah, I appreciate it. But I think it might be next year. Maybe I'll get some more bees again when I have time. But yeah, so that's really all I got.
All right. Thanks, Leander. Rusty, you're muted. Okay, there you go.
Well, I've got a mouthful of a sandwich. I'm getting ready to go out and mow a lawn, and so I'll save up for next month. But maybe we'll do round robin on the AI, whatever the topic is. I've enjoyed it.
I do like that AI idea. We do end up straying there so often that maybe if we dedicated a meeting to it, it would cleanse the palate for future meetings for a little while. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You didn't mention what kind of sandwich, so we'll need to know that.
Pork chop.
Oh, nice. Breaded or just straight up?
Well, hold on. Let me turn on the video. Here.
Looks tasty.
Very simple. High protein.
All right.
Look forward to next month.
Did I miss anybody going around the room? We still got about 5 minutes left. Dan, you're muted.
I just was asking, does anybody want to volunteer to present next month on something?
Where does that hit on the calendar?
July, let's see, 4th.
Oh, that's going to be very poorly. Usually that weekend is very poorly attended. If it hits on the holiday, on the day itself, we may want to even consider other options, because I said that's never been a great meeting for us.
I didn't even realize it till you mentioned it.
Let me think about that. Well, I think a presentation would be wasted. So let's just figure on whoever there is there. But the meeting, I don't have anything else going on that I know. So for me, the meeting will be on. So we'll just chat.
Okay.
August, I definitely might consider doing something.
I would just suggest if we have our AI smorgasbord, let's do an AI free one after that. I am so we have philosophy. I had to bail on some chats at work because we have PhDs in philosophy and religion who are convinced these things are sentient and like alive, and I'm like, no, they're not. No,
Even if
oh
you enjoy
God.
the tech, that's a gross misunderstanding of what they're
Yeah,
doing. Yeah,
it's. I have the amount of people I've seen one-shotted by AI, and I'm just kind of
No,
getting.
I'm a big fan of like all our brains are just meat computers. I get that type of philosophy too, but it's not there yet at all. Like it's just it's a predictive language model. That's all they are.
It's not
Like
sentient.
that's all it does.
Sure.
Like it's if somebody wants to get into conversations about like how sentient are people, even then like whatever, that's a different right. Like that's a different.
I work with a lot of people. I would say not very. Anyway. So
have you seen the Richard Dawkins stuff on AI? Basically, how he was sort of falling for that trap. It's kind of disturbing.
I'll tell you somebody you need to follow is Peter Diamandis and Moonshot's podcast. I'm telling you, those guys are all over it.
Yeah, this is to me the reason why we going around robin and picking up not just in terms of solid examples that we have experienced in our various chat projects, but also what each of us can pull in that is a connection to some other thinker, believer, whatever. I think that I need the ammunition, so to speak, or I need the exposure to some of these things that I haven't read about, or examples that are concrete examples.
I think it's also will give us an opportunity. I'll try and think in the hospital space. There are some non-generative, like people aren't using Claude or Anthropic for like medical diagnostics. We hope, anyways. But like there are some tools that seem very positive from a cursory like glance. It might be interesting to get into some things that aren't just all doom and gloom about it too, if they're there.
Yeah, an AI plus an expert is a great thing to have, because you can't know all the things, you can't process all the information yourself, but you can validate the information yourself very well if you're an expert. I've discovered that I initially was an AI Luddite, and now I feel I'm getting a good grasp on what is a good AI task and what is not a good AI task, and when to trust a response and when to heavily doubt the response even before I ask it. My boss, or actually it's my boss's boss, someone Ryan knows quite well, asked me a question fairly recently. I'm like, that sounds like a very good thing for AI to answer. And it was, I forget exactly what it was. Oh, it was something having to do with policy creation. And I'm like, AI is going to be great for helping creating frameworks of policy, because there's so much examples out there. And that's historically what we've done, is just, cribbed on somebody else's policy. That's kind of the way everyone's done policy in IT, I think, for the last, 30 years. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you can basically get an idea of an updated policy and then feel, okay, yeah, what is wrong with this policy? But it's a lot better than starting from scratch.
And there's a lot of degrees between that and Microsoft now letting AI write like 35% of its code base, right? Like there's certainly an in between there, right?
Maybe we could stop calling it AI and we can call it, I prefer plagiarized information synthesis.
Yeah.
And the acronym can be left to the...
Sure. Leander, I have a friend who's an author who's one of her books ended up on that one of the massive torrent lists that they're using to train. And that's what blows me away too, is like these companies have billions, if not trillions. They can't pay her $4.95 for a Kindle version of the book and train
Yeah.
it on that. They have to steal it for some weird reason. It's so strange to me.
That's probably a positive that's going to come out of this is finally like these like nothing ever changes until it impacts business interests, and now that copyright is negatively impacting business interests, that'll probably mean that like these 100-year copyrights on Mickey Mouse and stuff will probably finally get done away with.
The good and the bad, it'll all be laid to waste, right?
Yep.
No more intellectual property, no more property anything. You don't own anything
and you'll be happy.
Yeah. So, but that's probably, I mean, joking aside, it's probably a positive is that suddenly it's like, well, these new future companies can't train their AI if we're still paying authors' estates from 100 years ago or something like that. So, AI patent and copyright reform has been a long time coming.
It'll have to happen. Yeah. It's something's got to break.
So
a lot of somethings have to break. Yeah.
So, which it sucks for the people who are alive now, and I get it. And but maybe we'll make some sensible changes to that system. But where a kid doesn't get his life ruined for downloading a song off of Napster, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's wild. That's wild to me. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think that people, so we've got AI in the pop culture, which is what Microsoft and those guys want it to be, which is like a general tool, and it kind of is not amazing at that. But I think it's
Jarvis
kind of
from the Avengers, right?
Yeah,
that's what they want. Yeah,
it can be. It's one of those like things that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But I think the specialty stuff is really where machine learning has. I mean, I've been working with machine learning models for a decade, and it's like if you can train one to do a specific task on a closed set of data, they're actually quite useful in the medical space. Yeah,
we use it for like radiology scans. It looks at like gradients of grayscale that the human eye will have trouble detecting, and the AI will be able to see it on like a pixel density type level, and it doesn't diagnose the patient on its own. It just flags it for the doctor or the tech to review further, right? Like absolutely positive. There seems like no cons to it, but I'm sure someone has found out some way to make that into like some terrible data collection or something.
Right. It's a lot of it. I think a lot of problems for me around consent, the way it's being sold and the way people have literally killed themselves over what ChatGPT told them. So it's like some of these tools in the general public and stuff, I think, are not the way they're being done.
Who's accountable for that when that happens too? Yeah.
So but that's anyway. I don't want me to sound so negative about it. I'm kind of like
it's a dangerous space.
I hear about it.
I think it's
I hear about it all day at work, and I'm just like, can we talk about? Has anyone written their own code in the last 6 months? I want to talk about this new Python library I found that I thought was pretty neat. And they're like, nope. Why don't you get Claude to do it? And I'm like, well, because because I like doing it. So because I like doing this stuff, and it's I guess the upside is in 6 years when everyone's forgotten how to code. And then the price on AI finally gets exorbitant enough that they don't have enough money to pay for it. Well, somebody's going to come crawling back to me.
Coding is cooked. Yeah, I put a link to Peter Diamandis' Moonshots. If you want to see everything positive about AI, watch his casts of Moonshots. It's amazing. I mean, he's got a panel and they talk about AI, and it's all positive. It's nothing negative.
I just
that makes me nervous though too, right? Like because it is a round ball. There's both sides of it for sure. Like
right.
I don't know. When I was in gym class, round balls always hitting me in the face, so that's not a great.
Yeah, but the other side was thrown by somebody, right? Like so the AI is throwing the ball at your face.
What do they call that? I can't remember what they call that now. Blood ball. That's what it was.
I do think there is a mental health aspect of this. Like I thrive. Like I've had this discussion with people before. Like I thrive on being useful and being needed. Like I'm a firefighter. Like that is my thing. And I'm having to rewire myself to be like, I have value in just existing because I am quickly becoming a surplus person.
Yep.
And I think I will not be needed in a few years.
That's true.
Like economically, socially, knowledge, I think in 5 years, I joke about people come crawling back. I don't actually think that's going to happen, but I think that there's a lot of people out there like me who tie their self-worth to being that person that people turn to when they need something, and that is just not happening anymore.
We need you as a font of sarcasm.
Yeah. So I've got to find my. So I think there is some mental health kind of probably discussions that would be had about like rewiring your brain on like, hey, if you're one of these people that thrives on like, I mean, I go to give talks and stuff. Like, I mean, like I enjoy being the source of information and figuring things out, but I'm just not going to be useful in that regard sooner than I think.
That might be one of the holdouts. I don't think people are going to be inviting an AI narrator to present at a.
You would be surprised.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, like even if
you'd be
you use AI, like
I have a friend who has an infosec company out of Charlotte, and he has laid off 3/4 of his staff. He gave Claude voice samples of his work. Claude makes a presentation. Claude gives it. You would be people. Yep.
One of our presentations at work to the did you catch that, Brent? I think was it from your team? There was an AI narrator in one of the product presentations and it came from our company. And everyone hated it. So I don't like.
I don't know.
I'd be a bad surprise if people are asking for an AI generated, AI narrated presentation.
As a pushback on that, I think maybe us and the older generation are probably like that. But what I have learned working with kids is the sub 18-year-olds are going to be raised listening to AI narration on YouTube and TikTok. They're going to grow up used to it. In another 10 years, they'll just expect it. They'll be normalized.
For me, it's uncanny valley. Yeah,
for them, people like us who will be in our 60 or well, I won't be 60 at that time yet, but who will be getting close to retirement age, they're just going to be like, okay, boomer, we'll go listen to your real person, boomer.
They won't believe us when we say boomers were our parents. No.
Yeah. So I think that's okay. Cringe millennial or whatever. So I think it's going to be, I don't know. I do think, I mean, he's a security consultant. He was like, I literally did the whole job in 30 minutes with Claude. I'm laying off 3/4 of my staff. And, Claude even made the presentation. He did the voice thing as a test and he still did the presentation, but, he was like,
it was an AI sampling his voice.
Yep.
I see.
But he did it as a test. He didn't actually do that, but he was like, in theory, I could just collect a check and AI could do everything.
I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to stop the live stream before it stops on us in an inconvenient location, leaving somebody hanging. So thanks everybody for joining, and might not see too many of you next month, but I hope that I do, and we'll just chat and do the usual thing and
I'll
have some fun.
Brent.
I
don't have anything planned.
Oh, by the way, I dumpster dived and found 32 gigs of DDR4.
Whoa, that's like $1,000.
What dumpster were you diving in?
I live next to. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just wanted to correct one thing. The Spark machines were RISC processors.
Okay, that's good to know. I could not remember. Thank you.
They were the first. Apparently, they were the first most successful RISC processors.
I'm going to fall in an ARM RISC